Okay guys, today I'm going to give you a quick demonstration and review of the Rema Tip motorcycle puncture repair kit. Now there's loads of different puncture repair kits you can get. Just a quick search on the internet will throw up probably dozens of them. Some are better than others. Why did I choose the Rema Tip puncture repair kit? I read a couple of reviews myself, but more importantly I wanted something that's small and compact that I could carry under a motorcycle seat like this. Now you're not going to get a lot in there. Okay. Lots of them come with better tools. This one's quite basic, you know. On some of them you get a kind of drill, a hole extender, a bradawl, etc, etc. But this one's quite basic and small, and I can squeeze it under the seat. Now first of all you get, as I say, a kind of bradawl, like a crochet hook, and a hole extender. There's like a serrated edge there, which you can make the hole slightly bigger. Where it comes with a little cover, so you stop stabbing yourself to death. You get a packet of the bungs. Now I like these because they're rubber, hence rubber tyre, rubber bungs. I thought that's common sense really. You can get some with, it's like a cord, rubbery type of material. It looks good. Seems to work. I've watched other reviews on it, but I kind of like the look of this rubbery type of one. I don't think you get this many in the original packet. This is a kind of refill because I've used it in the past. It comes in most of it comes in this little box where you get a knife. You get the vulcanizing glue. We've got to get the certain one. This is a connector. In the kit you normally get 3 of these CO2 canisters. I use 2 as I've used it in the past on the road. What you do is screw this to your valve, and then you screw the canister on. Don't do it the other way around, as you'll lose all your gas. This on first, then your canister. I'm not going to use this today because I've only got one left. I'm in the garage and I've got a foot pump at hand, so I'm just going to use that. You get a little knife with it as well to cut it trim. A little bit of chalk. I think the purpose of that is just to rub over the glue to get that, to stop that sticking to other stuff. Never used it. I've used this kit myself whilst in France. I bought it specially to take with me on a little trip. I didn't have any breakdown cover. All I had was this, and sadly I got a puncture. I wasn't hoping for much. I didn't really expect it to work. It was raining, horrible day. It's the only thing I had with me, so we give it a go, and lo and behold it worked. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to do it yourself. Now obviously I'm going to pierce this tyre myself. Now for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you can see that this tyre already has 2 repairs in it. I shot this video about 3 weeks ago. Well, I shot a video about 3 weeks ago. I lost it and I'm now having to do it again. Now, just to prove how good this product is, like I say, I did this about 3 weeks ago. Haven't touched this tyre since. It had about £30 per square inch in it, I think, when I left it last time. So let's just see how much it's still got in it. 29.5, there we are. And I probably lost a little bit of that when I just took a reading. So 3 weeks with 2 bungs already in it. Can't really say a lot more than that really. Let's try and put a hole in this. I've got an extra camera here so you can see a little bit close up. So let's drill a nice little hole in here. Let's stick it in a nice little part here. There we are. So sadly you've got yourself a little hole. Now when I had the puncture in France, it was a little bit of glass and it left, I would probably say, about a 5mm slit in the tyre. So I really wasn't expecting it to work. It wasn't a nice hole, it was a little gash. But it worked a treat. Let's give this a go. There we are. So there's that noise nobody wants to hear. So you've got a little hole in your tyre. Now, what you do next, you get your bradawl, and it's quite tough. You've got to stick it in and work it around. You've got to get the hole bigger. This is very, very important. You must get the hole bigger. You're not going to get one of these bungs in. I got one out of an old packet here, so let's get it out. So what you're not going to do, you're not going to get that into that hole. You must make it bigger. Okay, so you stick the bradawl in. Bit of a tough one. You can kind of hear then the metal belt inside breaking. There we are, in it goes. And you've got to stick it right the way in. There we are. You've got to make this hole bigger. So pull it out. Now that's still nowhere near big enough. As you can hear, like I say, the steel belt inside breaking. Now some people have said, I've heard on the internet about after you've done this repair, you should throw the tyre away because it could cause rust on the steel belt inside the tyre. The interesting thing about the Michelin tyre, which I was using at the time, I was talking to the guy from the tyre fitting place, and he said the Michelins tend to use a Kevlar belt, which then is easier to penetrate with the bradawl, and obviously it doesn't cause any rust issues. I don't know if it does, you know, I'm just a average Joe, I'm no mechanic, just giving you a demonstration. I thought, interest's sake really, so let's work this around. Really take your time to get this hole bigger. I'm going to give that 2 minutes to let all the air out. Like I say, you can hear that working. You've got to get this hole bigger. Really spend some time getting it nice and opened up. Like I say, you get some of the other brands and they've got much better tools for doing this. With better handles. This one's a bit of a pain, it's hard to grip. But like I say, it's a bit of a trade-off. You know, if I was going on a long tour and I had panniers and etc, etc, I'd probably choose a different one. But this is one I keep under the bike seat all the time. I now have breakdown cover, but you know, I'd rather be able to get myself home. Maybe out for a little jolly on a Sunday afternoon, and you don't want to be sitting by the side of the road most of the day. Now, when I had my puncture, we just got to France. It was a brand new tyre. It's always the same, isn't it? It never happens on an old tyre. Brand new tyre. We were a couple of miles from Le Mans, going to watch the motorbike racing. It was pouring down with rain on a Sunday, and I wasn't holding out much hope of this working. So we give it a go at the roadside. Never used it before. Quick flick through the instructions, and I had a little go of it. It seemed to work. It kind of pumped itself up on a couple of canisters, then I stopped at a garage, filled the back tyre up with air. Went off to the races, watched the race, came back out expecting my tyre to be as flat as a pancake, and it wasn't. So we rode back to the hotel. Next morning, went out to look at the bike. The tyre was still good, so I was delighted. Now you're supposed to limp home, keep the speed down, and get it changed at your earliest convenience. I didn't. I rode all weekend. I think I done something like 400 or 500 miles on it, if not more, at normal speeds-ish. So I can't really fault the product. When I got home then I had a proper repair done on the tyre, and that tyre went on to do about 5,000 miles for me. It was a Michelin Pilot Road. I can't remember if it was the 2, I think it was, something like that. I'm really trying to get this hole bigger. Okay, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. I've lost the instructions for this in all fairness, so I'm not entirely sure what they recommend, and if I remember rightly, I think you get some of the rubber, spread it on your bradawl, and stick it in, get it worked around. There we go. This is the important bit. So what I'm trying to do now is get this inserted in there. So what happens is, as you push it into the hole, it'll go in, and this little bit will kind of hook on the inside of the tyre. You pull it out and it kind of rips it a little bit. Unimportant, it doesn't really matter. Got to get lots of the glue or the vulcanizing rubber or whatever they call it on there. I wouldn't be shy to use it a lot, because you may as well use most of the tube. Always hold some back, of course, in case it doesn't work the first time. Then you can have another crack at it. And you can buy these replacement tubes, as I've done there. I wouldn't buy big tubes in all fairness. You can buy different sizes. What's this? 4 grams. You don't want much more than that, because once you've used it, it's just going to dry out, so you might as well buy the small ones. Okay, and then nice and steady in. You don't want to be pushing it really hard. You want to kind of work it in if you can. Come on, there we are. Now that hasn't gone in. That's kind of ripped. So I'm going to go again from the other side. I don't really want to use another one. Let's get some more glue on it. Looks a bit messy, and of course it is. Okay. In you go. Come on, baby. Yeah, and that seems to be in. Now when you pull this out, you should just leave it in. There we go. I'll give this a little rub around. Yeah, maybe put a little bit more on the outside. Not that I think it would make a lot of difference, because the inside is more important. Okay. Then you get your little tool. I would leave it to dry normally, but I can't be bothered. Just cut it off. Nice and neat. And there we go. Rubbish in the bin. That is it. I've seen some other ones, like I say, the you get some of the ones with the little, it's like a cork looking rubbery strand. Can't think of any other way to describe it. That looks alright, seems to work. But like I say, this is rubber against rubber. I thought, you know, that's the logical way to go. I seen a great one by an Australian guy did it. It's like it's a very big, very large looking device, and you push this big thing in, and then you push some sort of rubber mushroom in there, and it just seemed a lot of faff for something that you probably may not use. It's just something in the bike for an emergency. Like I say, you may never see the light of day. So I'm going to put this on all the way tidily, ready for hopefully never using it. Yeah, it all packs away reasonably tidily in there, and that's pretty much all you've got. I'll then pop most of it into here. And that pretty much is it. Now that'll go under the bike quite neatly. So we're going to give this 5 minutes, and then I'm going to pump it up. Now what I've also decided to carry underneath the bike seat is a small push bike pump. Now I know I got the CO2 canisters, but I've only got one left, so I'm going to have to get some more. But should they fail for some reason, at least you've got a bit of a backup, and it'll be a long, laborious task of pumping the tyre up, but to get you home, it'll work. Okay, I've given that 5 minutes or so. Let's give this tyre a bit of a pump up and let's hope for the best. Okay, we got this one all pumped up. I put 30 something pounds of pressure in it. Let's have a little look. There we go, 33 pounds per square inch of pressure, which I think is about average for a car tyre. Now we know the other two bungs are fine because they've been there for the best part of a month. No leaks on that at all. Nothing going on there. Looks pretty good. So here we have it. We've got a tyre with 3 bungs in it, holding 33 pounds of pressure. I think that says a lot about this product. Like I say, I'm not being paid to say anything about this. I'm just an average Joe. I've just used it in the past and I was quite impressed with it. Just thought I'd show you how it works. There's loads of them out there. I'm sure most of them are pretty good. It just depends on how easy you want to make it, what sort of tools you want, how much room you've got on your bike to carry. You know, ideally I'd prefer one with a much better tool, which is more comfortable to use, because that little bradawl was very difficult to make a hole there. A little bit out of puff after pumping that tyre up. Like I say, that bradawl was a bit tough to use, but like I say, in the field, when you're on the side of the road and you just want to get home, you'll make do. And I've heard of people running these for a long time. You know, I'm not advising you to do long journeys on it. I'm not advising you to ride normally, fast, whatever. You might want to just limp home to be safe. But just showing you the product, you do what you want to do. But like I say, I think I done about 400 or 500 miles on the tyre till I got it home and got it repaired properly. And like I say, the tyre then went on to doing about 5,000 miles. Can't really fault it. Like I say, nicely holding pressure. Still double check that. £33 of pressure. So there you have it, the Rema Tip Top motorcycle puncture repair kit. And of course you can use it on any tyre, I would have thought. Thanks for watching. If you like that, hit the subscribe button. Maybe I'll put some other videos out there of other stuff. Take care.